one that doesn't have any disease, because they could come back and the next morning they could all be dead. So you've got to be careful with things like that. So I've got a buddy that imports granite or marble from China. And I told you guys about how he went to a certain city and what the certain city does. That's all they do is they make granite and marble. And then they import these big slabs. He imports them here to Ogden, Utah, and then takes them and cuts them up here, manufactures them, and then they go install them in homes, new and renovated, all that kind of stuff. And so in that town, he took some food. He took a lot of food with him. He was gone for like a week and a half, 2 weeks to China with a friend to establish the trade relation and establish the relationships with this one city in China. That's all they do. And you'll find that in China is that cities do certain things. Some will do shoes, some will do shirts, some will do granite, some will do all kinds of things like that. So they specialize in that area. And so you'll find that there. So if you get the right city, man, you're in hog heaven. Hog heaven. I love the Renault and Nissan. That is really good. That's good to know. Didn't know Nissan was in dire straits that bad. Didn't think that, huh? Wow, just weeks probably. Okay, let's see. Let's go to the next one. So, do you guys see this? Do you see that first statement? The widening gap between rich and poor countries? Ooh.
Trying to get rid of the middle class so the government can have all the power.
That's your opinion? Okay. That's good to know because, you guys, this is absolutely true. That world's flat. Those guys weren't wrong back in the 14 and 1500s, right? It is flat. It is. So let me ask you this. In your work, can you text them or do you have to email?
I haven't ever texted them, but I've only worked there since January.
Okay.
So, but no, I've emailed them, they've called a couple times. We don't talk very often on the phone, it's mostly email.
It's probably easier. So do they have to go through translation and do you find
No,
errors in translation?
Occasionally in just like the way they talk, but I went on an LDS mission to Africa, and so I kind of it helps me with deciphering the broken English, but for the most part it's actually pretty well understood. I mean, little phrases here and there that they'll say that takes you a sec to understand, but for the most part I was impressed. I did not expect it to be like that at all.
Good. Okay. Terrific. Let me tell you the world's flat. You know why? Because I've been buying jerseys for my sports marketing stuff, and I've been buying them in China. And there's a website, you guys want to look this up, AliExpress, A-L-I Express. And what they've done is they just take tons of companies, and it's like a online virtual mall, basically. And so that brings things quickly here because you know that they're not all in one city. It's that these guys were a broker, and they've gone from there. So this was excellent, you guys. I hope you learned something great today because you did. A lot of the terminology is very similar to what we'll use too, so terrific. All right, you got any more questions for these guys? You know what these guys want to do next, don't you? Yeah, eat the candy, and we're watching Cars because of the examples of marketing that are in there. So we see the marketing effect in there. So that's what we'll finish the day with, right? For about 10 minutes. And I never let them watch it the whole class. They hate me, right? Okay, any other questions for them? Hey, if you want to ask them about Weber State and their program, hey, do it. Because this is a good program that they're in. Great.
Can I say something about it?
Yeah.
So I kind of was a transfer into supply chain. I first started in accounting and then I went to supply chain. We're the people that are graduating this semester from supply chain. And accounting is going to have 40 to 50 students. So I mean, and there's a lot of jobs that come through Weber State that are supply chain related. So your chances of getting a pretty decent job out of school are much greater with supply chain than it is some of the other business majors because it's not a huge program. It's growing. It's not growing super fast right at the moment, but it is growing. And it is a degree that you can get that'll make you different than just a normal business degree. So that's what I liked about supply chain was that there's less competition out there for jobs. You're not going to be one of those students that's graduated for a year or two and still doesn't have a job unless you're super, super lazy. So, I mean, they tell you exactly what jobs come through. They tell you how to contact the person, where to send your resume. It's awesome. They do a really good job at Weber of trying to get you a job out of school. So that's one thing I'd like to say with supply chain is that it's a small program, but you learn a lot of things that differentiate you from other business degree students. So.
And I would say you get more personalized attention because the class sizes are a lot smaller. Like you said, because there's not a lot of people in supply chain, there's probably, last semester we had classes of 9 people.
Yeah.
And it was really pretty awesome because it challenged you and made you speak up and develop skills and really truly learn and participate. And they have great teachers that are there to help you succeed. So it's a good program.
There's some really cool opportunities in business school as well. Who went to DECA competition?
Anna did.
So
I got
that's awesome.
Maddie,
That's way
there's
awesome.
3 or 4 of them. Now, not that we got kids that will go do that, but you know what? We've done DECA activities in class, so everybody in this class has been exposed to that
That's way
student
cool.
organization. So now let's see. You guys have is it PBL? Do they have the FBLA one up there in the business school?
No.
I think I've seen
think it
before.
is.
They've got
Yeah.
DECA in the professional sales stuff.
Yeah.
So they've got that one going.
Our
There's, I think, American Marketing Association is in there too.
Yeah.
See that. So there's all kinds of opportunities to do stuff.
Yeah, there's clubs and stuff. And there's also, we just barely started last semester in the supply chain group, started going to case competitions. And me and Natalie actually went to Detroit just last October and presented our solution to a case that they gave us. And we spent 3
Cool.
days there. It was really exciting. And it's cool because you go there and you just network. You meet so many different people. We met the head of supply chain at GM, which was
Oh,
really
wow.
cool. Yeah, and so many bigwigs at GM and other companies. And GM was the sponsor. They were the sponsor for us. So we stayed in their Motor City Hotel and everything.
Oh,
It was
my.
really exciting. And so there's lots of opportunities there for you. And if you take a step out of just the normal school routine and find out some extracurricular activities, you won't regret it. It'll make you that much better.
So you know what Kobe's telling you? Remember how we did that little kind of role play simulation thing we did here? That's exactly what they were doing. We call it a case study. So they take the information and they go back and they say, hey, here's our solution, right?
Yeah.
And present it to them and see what they think. So that's what they're doing. It's fun stuff. Okay. Anything else? Ask them any question you want.
So
What
you're
car do they drive? Whatever you want to
You're
ask.
the only
Don't
one
ask me that.
graduating for
This year.
This semester.
This semester.
Last
Spring
semester was about 8.
7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think there was 12 in our.
Did they all get placed?
That's,
Did they find jobs?
Yeah, there's
So
only
far
one.
as I know,
There's
yeah.
only one
Most of
that,
them.
One that
I know
hasn't.
that doesn't have one.
Maybe wanted to get a little more
But
schooling or
he's got,
something.
well, he just had a baby, and then he's got 3. He's had a couple interviews on Hill Air Force Base just recently. So
Most of them had
Ooh.
jobs before they graduated.
yeah, a lot of them had internships that led to jobs.
You guys won't know this, but there is a lot of supply chain stuff that goes on out of that military base right there, the Air Force Base.
Tons.
A lot of stuff. They're moving a lot of product all over the world.
And then they have, I've been to the department store on the base.
Yeah.
They have a lot of stuff.
Pretty
Yeah.
amazing, huh?
They have a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
it would amaze you what those planes bring in here.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay, you guys gotta ask them anything you want, because they're not that far removed from you guys. I'm telling you. Besides, Harrison High is a great place to go, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
just a joke, okay? What?
What
Weber
school?
State, because it's known as we used to call it Harrison High School. It's located on Harrison Boulevard, okay? And it's really a commuter school, because I doubt, do any of you guys live on campus? Well, most everybody lives away from campus and comes in. And then, usually by the end of the day, it's real crowded in the mornings till about noon, 1 o'clock, and then it just kind of gets real quiet up there.
Till the night classes come.
Yep.
Yeah, till the night classes come, and usually the first one of the evening, around 5,
5:30.
yeah, there's a lot of folks up there. That's when it gets busy. Okay, anything else? You sure? Nothing, Jake? Not bad, huh? All right. If you guys want to chat with them about anything, go ahead. And then I'll just start, yeah. It's going to get loud.
You guys will have to provide the treats next time.
We have to provide treats. Do you know what treats we get around here? Unless teachers buy them, or you guys buy them? Anything in the school store has to be healthy initiative from